I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I
I
am
am California of the
past.
past.
I'm Tom Goodyear. I work here at the Belmont Library as a library aide, and I wanted to talk to you today about birding and bird banding. So my friend Phyllis was taking a nature studies class at Kenyatta College. This was around 1985, and she had to go to the Palo Alto Baylands to look for birds. So I went with her. We both had binoculars, and she had her bird ID book. And I had so much fun trying to identify the birds and looking at the birds that I instantly that day became a birder myself. And then after about a year of going out and looking for birds by myself, I started taking classes at Sequoia Adult Education with Mary Ann Danielson. We went on this field trip one time to the Coyote Creek Riparian Station. This is near Milpitas, near the Santa Clara Valley Water District. So we went over to the banding trailer and we saw the employees and the volunteers putting bands on the birds. A lot of times at the banding station, when they have visitors, they take a bird and put it up their ears so that you can hear how rapidly the heart is beating. And these kind of things here made me really excited. And not only, usually you're just looking for the birds, looking at them through the binoculars, but here you actually get to touch them, and it was a hands-on experience. And I wanted to be a part of that. Back in 1986, I was looking to buy a condo. The first place I looked at was in Redwood Shores, and there was a pond in the backyard with mallards and red-winged blackbirds there. And all over Redwood Shores, there's sloughs and lagoons with birds in them. So I actually bought that first place I looked for when I decided to move. And I've been living there for 25 years. There's always something to do if you have a birder. You just grab your binoculars, walk out the house, and you have something to do. You don't even have to walk out the house. If you got a window and live in a place like I do where there's birds around, you could stay inside and just look out the window. I know there's the cartoon version of the bird watcher with the binoculars and the funny vest. And I'd say that stereotype is true. I believe that one myself. But, I go out a little bit embarrassed with my binoculars around my neck all the time, but I do it anyway. There's the stereotype of kind of the absent-minded, goofy birder, which I don't believe this stereotype at all. The smartest people I know are birders. You go out there looking and listening for birds. You really got to pay attention to what's going on all around you. I kind of see it as a Buddhist-like thing. You're really aware of everything around you. You're in the moment, and I think birding has kind of trained me to be more aware. Bird banding lets me get close-up pictures of the birds in the hand. So in bird banding, we have two poles with a nylon net stretched between the poles, usually about 20 feet across and 8 feet high. There's pockets in the net, so the bird flies into the net, and then we have to take them out. If we're lucky, you can pull it out in a few seconds, but sometimes they get really tangled up and it takes 10 minutes, and that can be really frustrating. So after we get the bird out of the net, we take it to the banding trailer, or if we're out in the field to where the banding kit is. We put on the bands with really little numbers on it, on the leg. Usually you can only see on the small birds, you can only read those bands if you've captured the bird, recaptured it, or if it's found dead. But like when I look for the gulls, we have a special 3-digit big band, which you can see with binoculars or a scope. So after we put the band on the bird, we identify it by species. We try to identify the sex and the age. We measure the wing chord. We weigh it. We also look at the molting, and sometimes the patterns of molt can tell us how old the bird is. One thing bird banding can show is that how long the birds live. When I look at when I read the California Gold bands, I've seen several that are like about 26 years old. And who knew that gulls live that long? And You wouldn't know that without the banding information. The California gulls, 30 years ago in the South San Francisco Bay, there was about 30 of them that were nesting. Last year there was over 40,000, so there's been big changes. Their biggest nesting area near Alviso, an old salt ponds, was flooded this year. They're restoring it to the natural wetland habitat. So all these birds that have been nesting there every year, where are they going to go? That's one of the questions we're trying to answer, and why I look for the banded gulls over at the Coyote Hills area to see if they move over there. So in conclusion, I'd just like to say that with birding and bird banding, I've met a lot of really interesting people. I always have something to do, and I'm contributing to scientific knowledge, even though I only have an AA degree from college.